Our 10th wedding anniversary was supposed to be special. I'd planned to take my wife, Melissa, to the same little Italian restaurant where I'd proposed. But that morning, while I was sipping my coffee, she came downstairs looking unusually nervous and said, "Ryan, I'm bringing someone important to dinner tonight." At first, I thought she meant her boss. She'd just been promoted, and maybe she wanted to celebrate with someone who'd helped her career. So I smiled and said, "Sure, that's fine. The more, the merrier." She gave a small, tight smile in return. "You're going to want to hear what they have to say," she murmured, then left for work before I could ask more. The rest of the day was strange. She didn't text, didn't call, and when I tried messaging her about what time we'd be leaving, she only replied, 7 p.m. don't be late. I brushed it off, thinking maybe it was some surprise she had planned for me. But by the time I arrived at the restaurant, something in my gut felt wrong. She was already there, sitting at a table for 3. She looked beautiful, polished, confident, but her eyes were distant. When she saw me, she stood up and smiled faintly. "Ryan," she said softly, "this is David." The man sitting beside her stood, extending his hand. He was tall, well-dressed, and about my age. I shook his hand, still confused. "Nice to meet you," I said. "So, you're the important guest." He gave a polite nod. Melissa gestured for us to sit. "I didn't want to do this at home," she said quietly. "I wanted it to be calm." Something inside me tightened. "Do what?" I asked, staring at her. She looked down, fiddling with her napkin. "Ryan," she began, "David and I have been seeing each other for a while. I didn't want to keep lying to you." For a moment, I didn't hear anything, just the clatter of dishes from other tables, the faint hum of music. My hands went cold. "You're seeing him?" I repeated slowly. She nodded, tears forming in her eyes. "It just happened. I didn't plan it. But I can't keep pretending. I wanted you to meet him so we could talk about what comes next." I sat back in my chair, trying to process it. The man, David, cleared his throat awkwardly. "Ryan, I know this is difficult. I just want to say." I held up a hand. "Don't," I said quietly. "Don't say anything." My wife reached for my hand, but I pulled it back. "You chose our anniversary for this?" I asked, my voice shaking. "You couldn't wait one more day? You had to turn this into a confession dinner." "I thought being honest was the right thing," she whispered. I let out a bitter laugh. "Honest? After months of lying?" David shifted uncomfortably, and I could tell he wanted to leave, but Melissa wasn't done. "Ryan, I didn't mean to hurt you," she said. "You're a good man. But I've changed. I'm not the same person I was when we got married." I took a deep breath, looked at her, really looked at her, and realized she meant it. She'd already moved on, emotionally if not officially. And for the first time, I didn't feel angry. I just felt free. "Okay," I said finally. "If that's what you want, then I won't stop you. But I think there's something you should know before you leave." She frowned. "What do you mean?" I reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out a folded document, the papers I'd brought because I'd planned to surprise her with something special that night. I set them on the table and slid them toward her. "That's the final paperwork for the new house. The one I bought under both our names, the one you've been dreaming about. It's paid in full." Her eyes widened as she opened the folder. "Ryan, you bought it?" "I did," I said quietly. "I was going to give it to you tonight. But now I think it belongs to someone who still believes in US. And that's not you." She looked like she wanted to speak, but I stood up. "Enjoy dinner," I said calmly. "And good luck, both of you." Then I walked out. I don't remember the drive home. I just remember the strange sense of calm that settled over me once I got there. I poured a glass of whiskey, sat on the porch, and let the night breeze wash over me. It wasn't anger I felt, it was clarity. A few weeks later, I filed for divorce. Melissa didn't fight it. She didn't even call. But 3 months after everything was finalized, I got a letter in the mail. No return address, just my name on the envelope. Inside was a note in her handwriting. "You were always the better man, Ryan. I hope one day I'm half as brave." I folded it, placed it in my desk drawer, and never looked at it again. Because the truth was simple, she thought her confession would break me, but all it did was set me free. Sometimes the most painful endings are the ones that finally open the door to peace.